Am mad that I won't share a graduation party with a 6-year-old, by user immediate_revenue_90. I, 24F, am graduating college this year. I dropped out at 18 for financial reasons and then went to community college. I graduated during the pandemic and transferred, taking 4 years at university since I worked and went as a part-time student. I'll be attending a credential program this fall and working in child development. I am having a small graduation party in June with my friends and family at my parents' house. My mom, 51F, called me and said that a family friend Amy, 24F, suggested that we have a joint party because her oldest kid Lila is graduating from kindergarten and said that Lila looks up to me and wants to share the party with me and we could save money. I said absolutely not and that my graduation party would be boring for Lila and her friends. I would have to tell my friends not to swear or talk about anything adult, and nobody would want to hear about me or my degree because everyone would be focusing on the baby. My mom told Amy no. Amy sent me a message saying that I broke Lila's heart and I'm being self-involved and jealous of a 6-year-old stealing the spotlight. Amy said that she deserves just as much recognition for raising kids and getting to this milestone as a parent, and I said she sure does and she can do that at her own celebration, not at mine. BTW, she had a baby shower and a wedding last year. She is not wanting for attention. She said college isn't a big deal, get over yourself, and that I made a child cry because I wanted the attention to myself. My mom wants me to hand over all of my salary in her hands once I start earning, by user classy potato 09. So I'm 20F. My mother and I were talking about my studies, future plans, jobs, internships, and entrance exams last night, and she asked me, I want to see how much of your salary you will give me in my hands once you start earning in future. A little backstory. My mother has 3 sisters, and my grandfather was the only earner in the family at the time, so my mother and aunts would hand over all of their earnings to my grandmother. My parents are divorced, and my father was toxic. He used to take my mother's full salary and give it to her as needed. She had to ask him for permission to spend her own money. Back to the story, I asked her why I should give her my entire salary, and she explained that she and my aunts used to do the same. I told her that it was different back then because there was only one earner in the family and 6 mouths to feed, whereas now it's just the 2 of us. She became angry and began verbally abusing me. She informed me that if I declined to give her my salary, she will not bear the expenses of my wedding in the future, and I will be the sole payer. She also stated that she does not want me to ask her for free help in the future. I asked her what she would do with my salary, to which she said that she will make savings of her own and also it's the return of all the expenses my education cost and will cause. I told her that I don't mind giving her some money every month as help, I would have done so regardless, but expecting me to hand over my entire salary to her is a bit much because, after all, I would need it as well. She angrily said that she hopes that I end up with a husband who would do the same, who will take all of my salary and give me only what I need, like pocket money. After I told her how much she disliked my dad taking her salary and giving it to her only when she needed it. Parents hired detectives on me, by user puzzleheaded_art6843. I'm in my late 20s. I live on my own and have my own car. My parents are super strict and made me miss out on the college experience, which I'm still bitter about. I come from a family of extroverted people, such as my cousin, who's also accomplished career-wise, but still throws parties with around 70 people, responsibly. She got to have the whole exciting college experience, involving large social events and pursuit of creative passions, and now has fun alongside her career. She also wrote and starred in her own musicals, and I have a similar passion for acting, that I've never gotten to pursue. I got the similar genes of being fun-loving, creatively passionate, and wanting to enjoy my life. I moved out at 25 to make up for what I've missed out, or at least enjoy my current freedom. The years after moving out have been the best years of my life. However, my parents still make me feel restricted. They literally hired detectives to remotely tap into my phone and read my text messages. They found out I was staying over a friend's house. One of their rules is to never stay over someone's house, and got so mad that they threatened to show up the friend's house to tell her to leave me alone. They're also tracking my car because they know when I'm out late and scold me for it. I can probably find the tracker and remove it, but the detectives part worries me since they're able to do this without a tracker. I guess I'm venting and asking, how do I get them to stop this? Should I threaten to reduce in-person time with them from once a week to every 2 weeks? They got really mad when I suggested that before, because even with weekly visits, they miss me too much. I feel sad because I'm missing out socially and romantically, as they still manage to enforce their rules of don't go out after sunset, which is 5:30 p.m., Don't sleep over, and don't go out on weekdays, to focus on work. I would love to meet and organically form a romantic connection with someone, but my opportunity to meet new people is restricted since after work, weekend times after dark, and the once a weekday they see me, since they occupy the daylight hours, are off limits for socializing. Sorry this is so long lol. My mom has a breakdown every time I tell her I'm moving out, by user per Daishali. I'm a 22-year-old female. I just finished college with my BSN and got my RN license earlier this week. I've been offered a position in my desired specialty the next state over, about 5 hours away. The city is double the size of my current town and has much higher crime stats, but it's a good opportunity and I'm excited about starting a new adventure. The only people who are not excited for me are my family, my mom especially. She is just so angry at the prospect of me taking this job. She's mad that the pay is lower than my other opportunities, that there's no sign-on bonus, and that I'll know no one in my new city. She ignores me when I tell her that new grad positions in my specialty are few and far between, that I'm not signing a contract that locks me to the hospital, that the hospital has excellent ratios, that I'm 22 with no significant other or children tying me to my hometown, that I have no significant assets to lose if I do fail, making this the best time to take a chance. She's just so focused on being angry. She keeps making passive-aggressive comments about how I feel that she didn't support me enough through college, which isn't true. I paid my way through my bachelor's degree on my own and she hates me saying that. I know she'll be hurt if I don't involve her in the moving process, but when I do try to involve her, showing her apartments, looking at furniture, etc., she blows up and accuses me of shoving it in her face. Last night she tried once again to convince me to apply to other jobs closer to home after she asked what my plan was and I gave her the same answer I've been giving her for over a month. When I pointed out that these jobs were at hospitals with poor ratios and bad reputations, HCA facilities, and not in my desired specialty, she blew up again, told me she's not arguing with me, and went to bed for the night. I'm just so exhausted, and beyond that I'm hurt. Her neighbor's 19-year-old son just left for the Air Force and she talks frequently about how awful his stepmother is for being mad about him leaving when he's such a sweet, good kid. I've spent my entire life trying to please her. I didn't even apply to schools outside of my hometown when I graduated high school. I paid for my degree so my parents didn't have to shoulder the burden. I've worked 2 to 3 jobs around the clock since I was 18 despite being a full-time student. I've never tried drugs, I barely drink, I've broken up with partners to make her happy. I'm very involved in helping with my chronically ill younger sister and my delinquent little brother. I am in a constant anxious state of trying my best if that makes sense. A constant march towards an unattainable goal. And yet I'm not good enough, nor responsible enough, nor ready to try to be independent. I love my mom, and my family. I feel so guilty about leaving that it's literally eating me up inside. I'm supposed to move in a week from today and I have no idea how to leave on good terms between us. She keeps giving me bills for various things and I'm worried that she's going to try to charge me more once I'm actually gone and my savings will be totally depleted. Sorry for the rant, I'm just exhausted at this point. Parents picked baby's name because it wasn't popular. Now it's trendy, and they're angry AF, by user Anastasia Beaverhouse. Lady is angry and heartbroken that strangers are using the same name as her kid. And then she wrote an article about it. The entitlement and the audacity. https://www.yahoo.com/news/picked baby's name because wasn't 174634988.html